when William Herschel discovered Uranus in 1781. At first, the planet seemed lonely, a pale orb adrift in the outer solar system. But as telescopes improved and explorers like Voyager 2 swept past, today Uranus is known to host at least 27 moons, each carrying its own history, geology, and mysteries. And with Webb's recent discovery of yet another moon, this family is still growing. The first discoveries, just 6 years after spotting Uranus, William Herschel turned his telescope back toward his remarkable find. In 1787, he detected two faint objects near the planets Titania and Oberon. These were the first moons of Uranus ever recorded. With diameters of 1,578 kilometers and 1,523 kilometers respectively, they remain the two largest moons of Uranus. Their discovery immediately placed Uranus among the planetary systems that resembled miniature solar systems, with smaller bodies circling a giant central world. Over the following century, two more major moons were discovered, Ariel and Umbriel, in 1851 by William Lassell. Finally, in 1948, the American astronomer Gerard Kuiper spotted Miranda, the smallest of the 5 large moons. With these discoveries, astronomers realized Uranus possessed a system as intricate and captivating as those of Jupiter and Saturn. But the story was far from complete. A Shakespearean sky, unlike the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, the moons of Uranus bear names drawn from literature, primarily Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. This unusual tradition began with John Herschel, son of William Herschel, who suggested naming Titania and Oberon after characters from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Ariel and Umbriel came from Pope's poem The Rape of the Lock, though Ariel is also a Shakespearean sprite. Later discoveries continued the tradition. The choice of names adds a romantic dimension to Uranus's system. Titania and Oberon, the fairy queen and king, circle the ice giant in eternal cosmic dance. Ariel, the mischievous spirit, races around swiftly. Umbriel, the dark gnome, lurks in shadow. Together, they form a celestial cast of characters, orbiting a planet already steeped in myth. The 5 majors. A world of contrasts, the 5 largest moons of Uranus Titania. Oberon, Ariel, Umbriel, and Miranda are icy worlds with unique personalities. Each offers clues about the conditions that shaped Uranus and the outer solar system. Titania, the Queen of Uranus. Titania, the largest moon of Uranus, spans nearly 1,600 kilometers, making it the 8th largest moon in the solar system. Its surface is a patchwork of impact craters, valleys, and enormous canyons carved by tectonic forces. Some of these chasms stretch for hundreds of kilometers, hinting that Titania may have once experienced internal heating that caused its surface to crack and shift. Scientists suspect Titania could even harbor a subsurface ocean, trapped beneath its icy crust, an exciting prospect for astrobiology. Oberon, the shadowed giant. Oberon, slightly smaller than Titania, is darker and more heavily cratered. Some of its craters display signs of dark material that may have erupted from beneath the surface in the distant past. Like Titania, Oberon could conceal a hidden ocean beneath its icy shell, though no spacecraft has yet confirmed this possibility. Ariel is the brightest of Uranus's major moons. Voyager 2 revealed vast networks of fault canyons and valleys that suggest Ariel has been shaped by both internal activity and external impacts. Its relatively smooth areas indicate a younger surface, possibly renewed by cryovolcanism, volcanic eruptions of water, ammonia, or methane, rather than molten rock. Umbriel, the dark recluse, its surface is heavily cratered and ancient, showing little sign of recent activity. One of its most striking features is a bright ring surrounding a crater, nicknamed Wanda. The contrast between this bright patch and the otherwise gloomy surface gives Umbriel an eerie, ghostly quality. Miranda, the patchwork moon, barely 470 kilometers in diameter. It is small compared to the others. Voyager 2 revealed vast cliffs towering 20 kilometers high, giant canyons. Some scientists believe Miranda may have been shattered and reassembled by ancient impacts. Its chaotic geology raises tantalizing questions about what processes sculpt such a small, icy world. The inner moons, guardians of the rings beyond the 5 major moons. Uranus possesses a host of smaller moons that orbit closer to the planet, These inner moons, including Cordelia, Ophelia, Bianca, Cressida, Desdemona, Juliet, Portia, Rosalind, Belinda, Perdita, Puck, and others, are small, irregularly shaped bodies ranging from just a few dozen to about 150 kilometers across. Despite their size, these moons play important roles. Some act as shepherd moons. For example, Cordelia and Ophelia shepherd the outermost ring, keeping it confined. Others may influence ring stability through subtle gravitational tugs. Together, these moons form a delicate dance of order and chaos. The outer moons, captured wanderers. Unlike the inner moons, which orbit in the planet's equatorial plane, these outer satellites are tilted at odd angles. These moons, including Sycorax, Caliban, Prospero, Setebos, and Trinculo, are thought to be captured objects, asteroids or Kuiper belt bodies snared by Uranus's gravity long ago. Their irregular shapes, distant orbits, and diverse inclinations make them more like miniature asteroids than traditional moons. They provide evidence of the chaotic processes that shaped the early solar system, when gravitational encounters often captured or ejected small bodies. Until recently, the official tally of Uranus's moons stood at 27. But with Webb's sharp eyes, astronomers have spotted a new faint moon, likely only a few kilometers wide. Its discovery reminds us that Uranus's system is not fully charted, and more tiny moons may still lurk in the shadows. Every new addition expands our understanding of how Uranus's moons interact, evolve, and contribute to the planet's story. With 28 known moons and counting, a laboratory of planetary science, they help scientists study tidal forces, as the gravitational pull between moons and Uranus shapes orbits and internal heating, cryovolcanism, offering a glimpse into processes that may occur on icy moons elsewhere in the solar system, capture mechanics, since Uranus's irregular moons show how planets can trap wandering objects, potential habitability, as Titania and Oberon may harbor underground oceans. Understanding Uranus's moons deepens our knowledge of not just one planet, but of icy worlds across the galaxy. The moons in culture and imagination, they are not just numbers in a catalog. This literary naming scheme bridges science and art. When scientists speak of Titania or Miranda, they are not just describing icy rocks in space. They are invoking the language of magic, tragedy, and mystery. Despite the richness of Uranus's moon system, we have barely scratched the surface. Voyager 2's images, though revolutionary, are now nearly 4 decades old and limited in resolution. Many of Uranus's moons remain little more than blurry shapes in photographs. We know almost nothing about their internal compositions, geologic histories, or potential oceans. Future missions, such as the proposed Uranus orbiter and probe, recommended in NASA's Decadal survey, could change this. To analyze their surfaces, search for chemical signs of activity, just as missions to Europa, Titan, and Enceladus transformed our understanding of icy moons. A Uranus mission could reveal a family of worlds as fascinating as any in the solar system. The discovery of a new moon with Webb is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter. Uranus's family of moons continues to expand, and with each discovery, we see a clearer picture of how dynamic, diverse, and complex this ice giant truly is. In Shakespeare's plays, the characters of Titania, Oberon, Ariel, and Miranda live in a world of magic, transformation, and hidden truths. So too, their namesake moons embody a sense of wonder and mystery. They remind us that the solar system is still full of stories waiting to be told, stories written in ice, stone, and orbital dance around a sideways planet on the edge of sunlight.